You are the key that will unlock the potential in somebody else. And your particular grooves and indentations are the exact match that will unlock life's potential for somebody else. Smart people like you like to ask the question, why in life? Why this? Why that? Why do I feel this way? Why do I want to do that? But why, my friends, is a trap. Kids like to ask why. They ask why about everything. And for them, that's a good thing. It's healthy. It's healthy curiosity for kids to figure out why the world is the way it is. They're new here. It makes sense that they would want to ask why. But you and I, we are no longer children. And at a certain point in our lives, we have to turn from asking why all the time and start asking how. Because when it comes to our life's purpose, we need to get into action and figure out how we can contribute and how we can do that right away. Why is a question that leads us down too many rabbit holes that may never get resolved. And unfortunately, for smart people like you, why is often a reason to deter or put off or procrastinate or get in your own head or stew about it. Asking why all the time is really holding you back from living full out, from really living your purpose. You're not living your purpose as long as you continue to ask why about it. Instead of asking yourself, why do I want to help people like this? Instead, ask yourself, how can I best help people like this? That question alone, rephrasing that question, is going to move you closer to actually fulfilling on that purpose and making that contribution. Why is a circle of questions that may never lead to resolution, and it's only part of the existential question that we're all asking ourselves. Who am I? Why am I here? The cruelty of that question is that we never really realize the answer to that question until we start living, until we start actually putting our purpose into practice. And asking why about it only holds us from actually putting things into action. Why is completely attached to our ego. It's all centered in our head. All of the questions of why and the answers that we come up with don't have anything to do with anybody else except for us and how we're experiencing the world. How is what puts us into action. How is attached to the outcomes, the results that we can actually create in this world. How is the actions that lead us to the present moment. How brings us into the here and now. And when the how is answered, you'll ultimately answer that question of who you are. Now I get it. When you start asking yourself the how question, it's easy to become overwhelmed with that too. Just like with why. How also has the potential for overwhelm. But it's important to start narrowing down the focus of the how. Sometimes it feels like we live in a world of unending, unlimited possibilities. And so the potential for how we might live our purpose can become overwhelming too. While all those opportunities may seem liberating and exciting, they also have the potential to paralyze us. When we become overwhelmed, we'll hide that overwhelm with boredom, stagnation, anxiety, chaos. It's really important that we narrow down that how. And for the sake of clarity, we have to narrow that focus of how down into two different parts. Number one, how will I make this contribution? And number two, where will I make my contribution? How I do it is going to be different than the way you do it. We may have the same purpose and want to fulfill the same purpose in our lives, but the way that I would fulfill that purpose is going to be different than the way you would fulfill on that purpose, because each of us have a different set of skills. Each of us have been equipped through our experiences to fulfill our purposes in different ways. So you need to think about, how are you equipped? What makes you unique? What is your unique perspective that's going to allow you to fulfill this purpose the way that you would do it? And secondly, where are you going to fulfill on that purpose? Where are you going to make that contribution? Because where you will make that contribution is different than where I will make that contribution. We all have our gifts and our upbringing and the way that we relate to other people based on what we've been through and what we're experiencing. It's worthwhile to sit down and think about, what has life equipped me to do? We all go through things that equip us to help others in our unique way. I like to think about a key, and how a key has specific grooves and indentations that are unique to one lock. And those grooves and those indentations were put there to unlock that particular lock. Well, I like to think about my life the same way. The things that I've been through, the things that I've experienced have given me the indentations and the grooves that help me unlock something in a particular person or people. And I think that that's really important to remember, that my experience, my life experience has given me the experience to unlock something in somebody else. And you're the same way. Your life experience wasn't meant to hold you back, wasn't meant to create scars that never heal, but they were given to you to learn and hopefully to teach and contribute to other people in a way that will help them. You are the key that will unlock something special. You are the key that will unlock the potential in somebody else. And your particular grooves and indentations are the exact match that will unlock life's potential for somebody else. How you go about making your life's contribution is completely up to you. Nobody else can make this decision for you. Nobody else can equip you to do it. It's all up to you. Nobody else is going to come along and give it to you. So think about what life has equipped you to unlock in other people, and permission granted for you to go out there and make that contribution and unlock somebody else's potential. I always worry about, I don't have the right degree, I don't have the right background, I don't have the right pedigree to do the work that I'm doing. But that's my survivor's mind, that's my fear, that's all of the junk in my head talking. So decide what your contribution is in this moment for this season of your life. There's no life sentence. What has life prepared you for up into this moment that allows you to go out and make the difference in somebody else's life? And once you know where you can contribute, it becomes a lot easier and much clearer to figure out how you're going to deliver and contribute to that person or group of people. And if it doesn't become clear, if you're having trouble figuring that out, give yourself the grace and permission to go out there and be wrong. The only way to find out is to start. Don't let the idea of starting overwhelm you or keep you from making your contribution. Just get into action. And don't let the future version of you intimidate the current version of you. Go out there and make your mark. Of course, there's a gap between who you are today and where you're going, but don't let that gap intimidate you. Life is a process with no destination. The only destination is death. All life requires is a direction. So pick a direction that's going to make you feel joy and meaning and that real sense of aliveness, and go. Of course, there's a gap between where you are now and where you want to go, but you're not the first person to experience that. Look at the early works of authors, your favorite authors, or your favorite YouTube personalities, or your favorite bloggers, or singers, songwriters. Go back to their early works and compare that to where they are now. There's an obvious pattern of growth. There's an obvious evolution. Give yourself the same grace that they've offered themselves and that you offer them. Their leaps in progress are evidence of their growth. Give yourself the same opportunity to grow. Meaning is more deeply felt, purpose more deeply experienced when we are in the act of making contribution. We can't learn and grow, we can't be complete as long as you're holding back. Growth is an outward motion that is meant to be shared. So if you want to feel meaning and purpose, if you want to continue to grow and learn about yourself, then you've got to share and contribute to the rest of us.